Immigrants' rights groups say undocumented people living and working in Tulsa are fearful of being deported and that they have every right to be, even if they are law-abiding citizens. The Tulsa County Sheriff says it's absolutely not true. At issue is Tulsa County's 287G partnership with the federal government, which established that the county jail as a holding facility for immigration customs enforcement.
Shortly after President Donald Trump took office in 2017, Tulsa police officer Jesse Guardiola met with undocumented Tulsa residents to assure them Tulsa police had no interest in their legal status, that they should not fear cooperating with police despite the tough stance the new administration was taking on people in the U.S. with no legal status. But Guardiola also advised them if they or a loved one is booked into the Tulsa County Jail, their legal status could be an issue.
The policies are different between the Tulsa Police Department and the Sheriff's Department. They do have authorization to house and detain unauthorized immigrants in Tulsa County.
That's because under a partnership with the federal government in what is called a 287G program, people booked into the jail who are not U.S. citizens will be flagged for immigration and customs enforcement officers. Law professor Mimi Martin, who is the director of the Immigrant Resource Network at the University of Tulsa College of Law, recently shared data about Tulsa's 287G program.
People with no criminal convictions are being deported, as are people whose history only includes traffic violations.
Flanked by others working on behalf of immigrant rights, Martin painted what she called a disturbing picture of what's going on in Tulsa as it pertains to undocumented persons.
From January 1st, 2018 to April 26th, 2018, yesterday, a total of 561 people were arrested and had ICE holds placed on them. Of those 561, after researching publicly available data, as well as additional criminal histories, we ascertained that 320 were detained with no criminal history and no current charges.
Martin says their research shows that of those 320 people with no criminal history, 39 were detained for past traffic violations, including warrants for unpaid traffic tickets. 9 were detained for out-of-state traffic violations, and 11 for traffic violations at the time of their arrests. Of the 261 remaining detainees, they fell under ICE custody for deportation proceedings, even though they had no criminal history, current charges, or traffic violations.
We have seen multiple examples of people whose criminal charges have been dismissed. And to be clear, completely dismissed. Not pled out, not handed a deferred sentence, but completely dismissed, who are then not released, but instead placed into ICE custody.
Tulsa County Sheriff Vic Regalado says the data released by the Immigrant Resource Network is not factual.
Well, the 261, those are ICE holds, okay? ICE holds mean that can be, we are a holding facility for ICE, and the overwhelming majority of those ICE holds are from outside of the county, and more often than not outside the state of Oklahoma, and they come from different places like Texas and other border towns here in the United States, and to which we do not have access to their criminal history or their charges.
Furthermore, Regalado says his records reveal that since January 1st, only 32 undocumented people were arrested by his deputies, and all of them face serious criminal charges.
Of those, the least severe was DUI and operate in a variety of different traffic charges. The worst, I believe, was shooting with intent to kill or trafficking in illegal narcotics. And so everything in between were criminal charges.
Martin says a study published by Syracuse University using data directly from ICE, not the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office, shows the majority of deportations out of Tulsa were merely because they committed the crime of being here illegally.
The largest number of immigrants deported from Tulsa had immigration charges that were mostly not being admitted into the United States. In other words, not immigrants ordered removed previously, not immigrants convicted of felonies, not immigrants convicted of substance abuse related crimes or trafficking or crimes of domestic violence, but simply people who had come here seeking a better life.
Regalado emphasizes that what ICE does is a federal matter. He says the sheriff's office is concerned with getting criminals off the streets of Tulsa County and, when possible, out of the country.
To be clear, yes, I absolutely wholeheartedly believe that if you are committing crimes in our city, our county, and you're not from here, then we're going to, after you finish your local charges, we want you to go back home and stay there, commit crime there. Not in our cities, not in our counties, not in our country.
And Regalado says in the 2 years since he became sheriff, he has made a big effort to reach out to immigrant residents in community meetings and public forums to inform them of their rights and to assure them the sheriff's office does not profile or target law-abiding citizens.